I like the dark. It's friendly.
Last night, I dreamt that they had returned. They were here again, just like in other dreams. But this time, it was all confused. I have a feeling that something is about to happen, something final, in which I will be involved.
Hello, and welcome back to my channel Box Office Poison. My name is Moxie McMurder, and in this video I want to highlight a film that when it comes to British psychological horror doesn't get the attention it deserves. I'm talking about Symptoms from 1974. It's November, and this film has such a wonderful autumnal atmosphere that it's just perfect for this time of year. Directed by Jose Ramon Larraz and starring Angela Pleasance, daughter of Donald Pleasance, Symptoms is a psychological horror that starts as a real slow burn but ends up in murder and madness. Symptoms is the story of Helen, a woman getting over a bad breakup who invites her friend Anne to come and stay at her isolated country house. Helen clearly has feelings for Anne, and even though Anne has a boyfriend, she at times seems to have feelings for Helen too. But something altogether darker is going on. Strange noises at night, the mysterious Cora, a friend of Helen's who no one's seen for a while, a sinister handyman, played by Peter Vaughan, who seems to taunt Helen with insinuations about the missing Cora, and shots of a body hidden in the lake, all add up to an intriguing mystery. What sets Symptoms apart from other psychological horrors from the early to mid-70s is the queer subtext, which then becomes the text as the film progresses, and how sympathetic the film is towards its characters. Obviously, when you look at a film through a modern lens, you can immediately identify any problematic hotspots. Unfortunately, even modern cinema has a weak grasp of mental health issues and LGBTQ characters at the best of times. But I think it's worth noting that in terms of the LGBTQ+ themes of the film, it's actually somewhat progressive for the time. It doesn't shy away from the subtext or indeed the text, and the people in the town near Helen's country house, while not explicitly stated, seem to understand that the friends that Helen brings to the house are more than just friends, and they're disappointed when they hear that Cora is not with her this time. There's also masturbation in the film, which is something rarely seen on screen, especially from a woman's perspective, tame as it is. The 70s could be very exploitative in its depictions of queer characters, and I think the nuance and subtleties of the script and performances help make Symptoms a more sensitive portrayal than we're used to from that time period. The performances are so strong and never slips into the hysteria that so often accompanies films like these. Angela Pleasance is almost childlike in her dependency, with her pale eyes piercing the screen. Her long hair and feminine clothing put her in contrast with Lorna Helbran's no-nonsense Anne. Anne is in some respects coded in a typical 70s way as a lesbian, with her cropped hair, more typically masculine clothing, and constant smoking. The two make for compelling leads, who are both supportive and slightly suspicious of one another. The quiet dread that builds throughout the film, along with the unsettling feeling of isolation, really does set this film apart. I particularly love the creeping terror lurking in the various shots of nature, the woods surrounding the house and the lake. It's beautifully shot, hazy and dreamlike at times, and then in stark contrast towards the end of the film, the shots become more like a standard horror. The whole film is dripping with atmosphere. The sound design in the film is excellent, the almost constant ticking clock, which seems to be a countdown to something terrible, and the score, which really helps to build on that unsettling quality. I saw a review that said the film is like a Bronte novel, restructured as a Hitchcock film, and I can see what they mean, especially due to the period house the two women are staying in, and the level of suspense that's presented throughout the film. Symptoms actually disappeared a few years after its release, and it was included in the BFI's Most Wanted list of missing films in 2008. The film was eventually tracked down and has since been released on DVD and Blu-ray. According to the film's editor, Brian Smedley Aston, the director, Jose Ramon Larraz, financed the film himself from his income as a comic book artist and photographer. However, according to the BFI, funding came from Jean Dupuis, Belgian heir to the fortune generated by the Smurfs. Yes, the Smurfs. Dupuis had decided to go into film production and set up a company in the UK. I tried to look a little deeper into this, but there doesn't seem to be a lot of information to back up either claim. I highly recommend Symptoms. It's rarely talked about, but it deserves more praise. It's the sort of film that sucks you in slowly and is chilling in its simplicity and violence. Let me know in the comments if you've seen it and what you thought. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment and subscribe. If you really liked this video and would like to help support my channel, you can buy me a coffee. I'll leave a link to my account in the description below, and believe me when I say, all caffeine hits are gratefully received. Have a great day and stay spooky.